sharing today's card with you. It is completely different than what I normally do. And it's a slim line card. So it like barely even fits in your view. But that's how what it looks like. All this week on my blog, I am sharing projects that feature a specific bundle. Now, I've done this before with designer series paper. This week, I'm featuring a specific bundle, and that's the Words of Cheer bundle. It is found in the July to December mini catalog. It is full of really great sentiments, this really awesome kind of cluster of stuff. And the dies are amazing. Okay, so let me just give you a sneak peek. Christmas cheer dies are the dies, and when I open this, it's going to look like a hot mess because it's been well loved, so just bear with me. Yours will come all nice and neat, but mine are literally a hot mess. Hello, Karen. Thanks for coming on in. What's great about these dies, again, mine are a hot mess, is that you have these word dies. Hold on. I have a nail party tonight that I'm doing, so I don't want to mess up my nails. Hello, Patty. Oh, sunny. Oh, we are very overcast here in upstate New York. These cheer, this cuts out this background cheer, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. And then this cuts out the words, and then the same thing for the word happy. Sorry, I really don't want to mess up my nails. We have a happy that cuts out kind of the bubble, and then the detailed bit that cuts out happy. Okay, and so I'm sharing projects all this week. There'll be 5 projects. Yesterday I shared like a really super quick and simple card. Today's my Slimline card. Tomorrow, I think I'm doing my birthday card. So I'm taking Christmas product and I'm going to make a birthday card with it. Thursday is a square card. So again, kind of mixing up the shapes. And Friday, I have gift giving. Friday's my gift giving card, project. What did I do? There it is. So you're not going to want to miss out on anything, okay? You can go to my blog and I'll link back each day to the previous projects if you miss any. So today is a Slimline card. Let me tell you, I was really hesitant. I've only made one other Slimline card. Okay, so this is my second ever. But I didn't think you could mail them. But come to find out, the Slimline card fits into a business envelope. So hello, it all of a sudden became extremely more manageable, more practical. That's the word I'm looking for. So this here will fit into your standard business envelope. Okay. So of course it may need 2 stamps. You know, my ribbon is always a little chunky here. So, just be aware of that. But other than that, it can mail normal. Okay. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to give you all the measurements you need. I'm going to try and not go too fast if you're trying to take notes or whatever. But let me just tell you, I lost my base. Let me just tell you, I lost my base. I think I put it away. Hold on. I made a big old mess with my, I did put it away. Oh my goodness. I had made a big mess, and so I was kind of clearing it up, and I accidentally put my card base away. Oh, goodness. But this is a very manageable card. It has kind of that wow factor, but with like very little effort. So this is like, wow, did you make that? Absolutely. Was it so ridiculously easy? You bet. But our little secret, we don't have to tell them. Let's see. Sorry, I just realized I forgot to take my embossing folder out, and everything is everywhere. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Now that I put everything on top of my scoring, but I need that. Hold on. I'm sorry. I literally am in the middle of like 3 projects, so there's stuff everywhere, okay? So you're going to start off with a piece of evening evergreen. This is our card base, okay? And it measures 7.5 by 8.5. Let's try that again. 7.5 by 8.5. Okay, so it's 8.5 high. And if you're wondering, how do I even go about cutting that? Whoops. In your paper trimmer, there's this little arm. It kind of opens up, and so you can your measurements continue at the top here. I'm sorry, you're getting my outline. So you're going to just cut at 7.5, flip it around, and then cut at 8.5. Okay, and you're going to need that arm for all your designer series paper and basic white and layering because, well, you do, because it's going to be a lot longer. Okay, so I have my scoring tool here. You can use your paper trimmer, the scoring blade on your trimmer. I do find that this gives a deeper impression when scoring. So this is kind of my scoring tool of choice. We're going to get all sorts of fancy around here. So I have the short end. Short end. This is the 7.5 end at the top. And I'm going to score at 1 3/4 and 5 1/4. Now, let's just hope that this is all true because I made lots of notes as I was making the card. So, you know, hopefully this is all true. So you scored at 1 3/4 and 5 1/4. Okay, and we're just going to burnish those. And it's kind of a fancy fold. I don't know. Go figure. Slimline and a fancy fold, neither of which I do. And yet I threw them in the same card. I don't know. I guess I was feeling adventurous. Okay, so it's kind of a fancy fold because they kind of overlap here. It's not quite a gate fold because this side is bigger. They kind of overlap a little. So this is what we have, okay? And then we're going to do a whole bunch of cutting, a whole bunch of panels because you know about me, I love my layering. So for this front panel, the first one here, I'm going to call this panel number 1, okay? This one here, the very first one that you see. Your basic white is 1 5/8 by 8 3/8. I'm going to say that again. Your white is 1 5/8 by 8 3/8. And then the DSP that goes on it is 1 1/2 by 8 1/4. The DSP is 1 1/2 by 8 1/4. And this is from the Painted Christmas. The Painted Christmas Designer Series paper. I love this pattern so much. I love the greens in here with the pine cones. So pretty. And we're going to just adhere one over the other. And then on that card, that front flap, it's going to go. It is a tight mat. I love to mat. And why does that not look a little, well, I think I trimmed it just a smidge short. But if I mat, I always mat on 1/8. Yes, we're good. We're good. We're good. See, I start second guessing myself, but I'm good. I have to just trust that I made my notes correct. Oh my goodness, I have been so known not to make my notes correct. Maybe that's why I'm nervous. Listen, if I mess up, I apologize. Maybe I should just apologize ahead of time for whatever mistake is about to come. Okay, so that's what we're going to call flap number 1. I know it's easier for you to see it this way, which, by the way, it could totally be this way, but then you'd have to do something other than cheer. For flap number 2, okay, my basic white is 2 1/8 by 8 3/8. 2 1/8 by 8 3/8. And then the DSP pattern is 2 by 8 1/4. 2 by 8 1/4. Whoops. And as we are dealing with all this cardstock, let me just remind you that today started the seasonal sale, which is quite amazing. I am totally stocking up on cardstock. Let me just tell you, I'm going to be buying buckets. All cardstock is 10% off, which, by the way, includes 12 by 12 cardstock. I just assumed it didn't include that, but then when I went to check on the sale, I was like, what? And I used the 12 by 12 in scrapbooking, so I'm going to be stocking up on that. 10% off cardstock, 15%. Oh, I forgot to shut my heat off. Sorry, you're going to hear my furnace in the background. 15% off ink pads. So if you're missing any in your collection, now's a great time to get it. And 20% off dies from the annual catalog. Okay, this will go today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Just a really, really great deals. I apologize for my furnace. It's literally like on the other side of that wall as I craft in my basement. I usually shut it off for a live, and I'm not in the habit. Okay. So next what we're going to do is a little more because why not? Let's just keep making this more fun. I kind of have this little soft succulent panel here. And the soft succulent is 2 1/4. Yes, sorry, I'm reading my notes. 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. And the basic white is 2 1/8 by 5 3/8. Yeah, we're good. Okay. And all I'm going to do is take the Wintry embossing folder. It's a duo folder, but I'm going to take the ones with the bows. Oh, I'm so sorry for my heat. I hope it's not too loud. And I'm just going to emboss my white panel here, just to give it a little bit of texture. Okay, open it up, pop it out. Now, this is a great with either side. So this is what I would call the positive side. The impression is up. Such great texture in there. I just love it so much. The negative is equally gorgeous. For my sample card, I use the negative. Maybe today I'll use the positive. Kind of switch up a little minor detail to switch it up. So this is going to go layered one over the other. Again, we're using lots of cardstock, so now would be a great time to stock up on your cardstock. Because the card takes a couple pieces, a couple panels or two. I'm not going to adhere it yet because it'll be easier. As you can see, this kind of doesn't want to lay flat. So if you wanted to lay flat, I would suggest doing a belly band to kind of hold it. Otherwise, it'll go in an envelope and stay tight. But it's just easier to work off of just the smaller panel. So ahead of time, I cut out this more, what would you call this? The bubble cheer from Evening Evergreen. And then I cut out the words from Soft Succulent. And I'm just going to, we're going to do a little adhering, literally one over the other. I'm going to use some inverted tweezers because Glory knows these are tiny, teeny tiny. And with a little bit of liquid glue. You could also have used like an adhesive sheet. There we go. I was going to say, don't even tell me you're out. There we go. An adhesive sheet would have been good because they are pretty, these letters are pretty fine. Now, I was thinking of other words that you could make with this. Okay. Oh, look, perfect. I was thinking you could do like a here for you. Here. And then you'd have to find the for you somewhere else. Right? That's pretty much all I came up with. Or here to tell you happy birthday, or here, I don't know, you'd have to get sort of creative, but I was thinking, well, okay, we have these letters, what else can we write? Oh, that's clicking, that's, okay, so there's the H, and then the E. When you are adhering down these letters, just be mindful that with the E, you could easily glue down the sort of the back of it. You can tell the back from the front. The back will have like a little extra texture on it because it went through the embossing folder. And then the front will just look smoother. So, you know, when you're putting your letters down, it's not a huge oops if you accidentally adhere the back instead of the front. But something to be mindful of if you are aware of that sort of thing. Oops, hold on. I got to hold it on the right. There we go. And the R. Right now, there is also an amazing join special, which it just blows my mind, honestly. For $75, you get $125 in product that you choose. And it can be combined with the seasonal sale, the cardstock dies and ink pad sale going on right now, for just crazy savings, like crazy savings. So if you're looking to give yourself a special Christmas present, or honey, can I have my Christmas present a little early? Now is a great time to get that. I didn't do that on purpose, Karen. Yes, my nails are matching. I have a nail party tonight. This, if you are interested in Gel Moment, this color is Emerald Envy, and it does match. I didn't do that on purpose, but I like that. Totally done by accident. Okay, ahead of time, let me show you the dies that I used. So you, in addition to the amazing words, you also get like these fun, I don't know, what would you call these? Complimentary dies? I don't know. this, there's another one, I think. Yep, there it is. Come on, I don't want to pick it up with my nails. There we go. So you also get these sort of complementary dies. These two here I'm going to use, you're going to see they make sort of like poinsettias, and then these kind of make little twigs and branches and leaves and such. So look how well loved this is. Oh, it's so well loved. Especially after the oh, I dropped one. Especially after the projects all this week. So the little poinsettia cuts out 3 big ones and 3 small ones. If you are making, no, it wasn't planned at all, Karen. That was completely by, this is a nail color I've had for a while and have been wanting to use it. And I don't know, I just haven't yet. So I figured, no, it's not planned. I'm not that good. You're that good. I'm not that good. If you want another way of using this bundle outside of Christmas cards, these make great stars, just standalone stars. You can layer them up, but they also, you could do them in blue and do like a sky. Gosh, you could do so much, but they make just great standalone stars. But I'm going to make them into poinsettias. So I'm going to be very light with my glue and kind of glue, whoops, don't drop yet. Glue them offsetting one another so that they kind of fill in the, don't do that. Why did you do that? No, 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 no. That's, I want to pick up the whole thing. Hold on here. It's not, there we go. It kind of glues together to form what I'm calling a poinsettia. Kind of. A starry poinsettia. How about that? Okay, so I'm just going to do 3 of those. Like so. Let's see if this one will cooperate a little better. And then one more. Oopsies. Again, there is a top and a bottom. So the top will look nice and smooth. The bottom will look a little rougher. If you accidentally glue the bottom side up, no big deal. But if you're paying attention to that, there is a top and there is a bottom. Okay, so I did cut 3 like holly leaves. I don't know, leaves, holly leaves. You know me, I don't know these things. Leaves from crumb cake. And what I'm going to do is pick up one of these and put some glue on the back. Keep in mind that our liquid glue, less is more. Like honestly, a little dab will do ya. And I'm gonna fit so that the leaves are kind of in this negative space here. Or I'm going to attempt to do that. How about I say it that way? Like there. And then put a little bit more dab will do ya. And this guy is gonna kind of go up in this corner here. Don't do that. Be friends. Stay. I want to pick this one up. Whoops. Goodness gravy. There we go. Little liquid glue. And again, I'm going to kind of fit it in between the flower spaces. Put a little bit more glue. So it's more, there's still glue there, but so that there's some on the crumb cake too. And this time I'm going to put that kind of halfway down, but facing the other way. And then last but not least, whoops, we're going to pick up this guy. Same thing, a little dab will do ya. Oh my goodness, I swear my fingers are made of Jell-O today. Fit it kind of in the space of the flower. Put a little bit more glue, not that much. And then this one I'm going to have kind of pointing a little more up. So same exact images, but just by switching the orientation gives them a different feel and a different look, which I actually really, really like. Okay, so I originally was just going to leave it cheer, but you know, we should probably say what kind of cheer it is. So I threw the word Christmas in. Some of the other words that would work are, hold on. Oh dear, it's like underneath. Okay, you could do holiday, happy cheer. No, I guess you have to use Christmas cheer. I guess that's the only one that works, unless you want to do cheer day, which doesn't really work, or cheer holidays. I don't know, that doesn't. Okay, you have to go with Christmas. I was wrong. You don't have options. If you want it to make sense, you have to go with cheer. I just have a scrap piece of basic white here, and I'm going to stamp as low as I can into the corner. That way I only have to trim 2 sides. And I'm going tight. Ooh, boy, I think my cherry, no, I don't think, I know my cherry cobbler needs some re-inking. Let's try that again. If not, we'll go with it, but it's definitely on the light side. Oh, that's much better. Which, by the way, if your ink pad is dry, we're going into the winter season. We're pretty much there already. My ink pads will always dry out in the winter. You can either refill them, re-ink them, but also keep in mind that the ink kind of on the outside will be more intense. And so if you're inking up in the middle and you're like, why am I getting a really light image? Try taking that same image and ink up along the edges where the ink is more concentrated. Okay. I'm going to take my trimmer and give it a little quick snip. You could eyeball it, but honestly, I can fussy cut really complex things, but when it comes to straight lines, not so good. So we're going to go with using the trimmer. Oh yeah, need some mini dimensionals here, and I'm going to put them on the right side. So I'm going to probably put 1, 2, 3, but only kind of flush to the left. 1, 2. I'm really only need 2, but the more you put, the sort of, especially with the mini ones, the more steady it is. So I do try and load as many as I can on. Okay, and the reason why I only put them flush to the left, actually I probably could have put, I know I could have put another one on there. Let me put another. Is so that when it overhangs, even that little bit right here, it's not level. And so if I were to put dimensionals across the whole thing, it just wouldn't stay level. So only flush right, like that. Okay, now this is going to go on adhered to, this is very important, adhered to panel number 1. Okay, don't adhere the whole thing or else no one's going to be able to open this. So when I got to put a cap on my glue. That's not good. So what I'm going to do is only put adhesive on the left side of my card. Don't put it on the whole thing. I'm going to do 2 strips, but only on the left side. If you do the whole thing, the card's not going to open, which I'm sure they'd be very appreciative to receive the card in the first place, but kind of defeats the purpose. And I'm going to try and go smack dab center. Give it a little love. Okay, I'm going to do the bow, but I'm going to do the bow last. I have for my inside sentiment, wishing you a joyful Christmas. And this panel is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And I'm going to ink up my cherry cobbler. And I'm going to go around the edges just like I suggested to do because it needs some extra ink in there for sure. Stamp that down. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then this is just going to go on the inside. Okay. On the inside, like so. Oh, how fun is that? And then I have some cherry cobbler in gold ribbon, and I'm just going to add a little bit of a ribbon detail to the front, doing a fork bow because that's basically the only kind of bow I do. This is so, so pretty. Look how it picks up the light. Oh, so pretty. So real quick, I've done this before. I know you guys know, but if someone's new watching, a fork bow is super easy. It's the only way I do a bow unless it's like twine or linen thread. Just take a kitchen fork, a wide pronged fork, or you can even use a wide tooth comb, but you're going to go over the front, wrap it around until you kind of have this V. The end is here. I don't snip it until I'm all done because I don't want to cut it too short and I don't want to cut it too long and then waste. And then I do this little song, okay, over the river. So I'm going to go over this ribbon, over the river, and then through the wood. So I'm going to go through underneath my ribbon, the middle prong. So through, over the river and then through the woods. I pull it down tight and I kind of secure the back bit between like 2 fingers and then kind of pull this taut. And then this is going to go up and through that same prong, but up this time. I'm going to give it a little bit of a haircut, tie a knot. I always twist this. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, tie a knot and then tie it super taut because you don't want to do a double knot. If you do a double knot, it will be it's too chunky. So a single knot, but make sure you tie it really taut. And as long as you tie it taut, it's not going anywhere. And then slip it off your fork and you have a perfect bow every time. You just kind of have to fiddle with the who watched my video on Wednesday? My bow legs. I call them bow legs instead of tails. Oh, I'm never going to live that one down. My bow legs instead of tails. Okay, I'm going to give them just a little bit of a snip. So I hold them together and this kind of makes it so I cut them at the same direction and the same length. Again, not completely foolproof, but sets us up for success in the best possible way. And then all I do is super easy. Where's my liquid glue? I put it away. Is I put a glop of glue, literally just a glop of glue. And then I put my ribbon on top. Get it the way you want it because once it glues down, you're not going to be able to fiddle with it. So I like my tails are laying flat. My bows are nice and the way I want it. Let me just reach for a block. And then I put a block over it, walk away, come back in 10, 15 minutes, and that's dry. So there you have it. What do you think? So easy. Honestly, the layering does all the work. I mean, it's like DSP, some cardstock. Even the letters are layered. A little bit of texture with an embossing folder, a beautiful ribbon, and then kind of a fun fold. I mean, it's like everything we love about a card, right? And it fits in a business envelope. So you can totally pop that in the mail and someone can enjoy it for Christmas. So there you have it. Make sure you check out my blog all this week. I'll be sharing projects from the Words of Cheer bundle. Tomorrow night, Facebook, I'm going to be doing a birthday card. I'm going to use the Christmas set for a birthday card. So it's not designed for birthday, but I'm totally going to make it work. And I'm going to share some kind of neat tips and tricks with you. So be sure to join me tomorrow night, 7:30 over on Facebook. Seasonal sale is going on right now. Head to JAIMIEB.com to place your order, answer questions, get all my things. And I will see you back next week. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have an amazing Tuesday afternoon. Bye-bye.